All right, welcome back, everybody. Ge115. This is Wednesday of our 5th week. I put up a couple older lectures on dimensioning. I think I've had one of those up before, or maybe both. So was a bit of a review. This will be a little bit new and give you also a lab for this week. So I want to do title blocks, more paper space work. So sorry if that's redundant, but I want to make sure that you've got this down along with scaling so your dimensions show up at the right scale. I'll work with our exercise, our lab 5 today, and I'm not going to do it all, but I'll just start it and make sure the dimensions work so you can see how you can start to organize this. Also, a little bit of layer work, show you how some basic layers can be set up and used. So paper space, model space stuff. Yeah. All right. So the calendar is current. Looks like we're working towards an exam for next Friday. We'll have a quiz on the 4th. So tune into that. And then I made these lab exercises due, I think on the 6th. So you have most of the weekend to work your way through this thing. It's not too difficult, but it could take a little bit of time. All right. I'm going to not do stop sharing. Yeah, I guess I am. I guess I can't do a new share. So here we go. And sorry, I'm in my coat, but it is cold in my office. So yeah, so this is a document I put up. It's a title block. It's out of the book, so you can find this in the book. This is an older version of the book, so it might not be figure 372, but it'll be close to that. So I'm sure it's in chapter 3. We're going to use the bottom one. It's a good title block layout for A-size paper. It goes horizontally in a landscape position across the bottom. I'll show it to you. It has things like the date and the scale, your name and a part name. You could have the college's name in there. Number of sheets is optional, material is optional, and then the sheet number would be optional. That would be for multiple drawings, maybe an assembly drawing or working drawings, okay? And then the upper one is just another one, different style title block. So they have a few of them in the book. We'll use this one. This is the lab that we're going to use, that we're going to do, and you're going to create a front, top, and right side view in AutoCAD on A-size paper. So you may have to do some scaling, which is what I'm going to work with here in a bit. So have this kind of from looking to from the lower left up at the object, make that your front view. So, and then the right side view would be over here, kind of from the lower right, looking up at the object, and then top view, obviously the top view. So we all do the same views, it'll be a little easier for looking at. So I'm going to do another new share. Go to AutoCAD. I think we have a handle on paper space and model space. Remember, you can rename your tabs. That used to be called layout. So I renamed it by right-clicking on it and hit rename. And it says A-size inches. So again, you can have multiple tabs going to work back and forth between paper space and model space. All right, if I go in there, I can see that I have my title block started, right? It's not complete. I just, threw a couple things in, but it should be in paper space. So if I click into model space, this is the model. And if I click into paper space, when I zoom, the paper goes in and out. And then these objects, as you can see, as I mouse over them, they are in paper space. So that's what we want. Now, before we do much, we have to get some of the drawing done. I'm not going to do it all, but I'll just do a little bit of it, working with this thing right here. And then this is the right side view. And let's see if I can do this. I can't. That's weird. This is the front view, okay? So that's what I'm going to start working with. Looks like it's 5.5 units or inches across. So just going to get a line going here. Oh, so I don't want to be on the dimension layer. So see, here I have some layers going. These are just layers that I created in here: hatch layer, a hidden layer, a block layer, visible cutting edge, visible line layer, and then cutting lines. So cutting lines are super thick. So visible is what I'm going to go into. You create those layers here with the layer property manager. So they're just a way for you to control objects, to organize objects. And then you can turn like clusters of things on and off, or freeze them, or do a number of things. Okay, so I'm going to use my visible lines here. And just do some aim and shoot, right? If your line weights, like line weights are nice because in here they'll give my visible lines some thickness to them, right? But in model space, they can be, I don't know, kind of a pain to draw with because it's thickness, and AutoCAD just uses points, not thickness. So you can turn them on and off. Get in here in the quick buttons if they're turned on, if the quick button is on. So to get to your quick buttons, you can come into this area over here and click, and you'll see all the quick buttons. So line weight is there. That was over here. And it's right here. So I'm going to turn it off. So then I just get a horizontal line. It's not very easy to see, I know, but I think you can see it, hopefully. Maybe we'll fix that right now because it is rough to see. I'll just change it to white. So that'll be a little easier for you to see. And again, it'll change everything on that layer, right? When I just go make the changes to the property. If I want it back to blue, I can just change it back to blue. So I went 5.5 across, and now I'm going to go up the 0.62. So hooking up with my object snaps, and I'm just aiming and shooting, right? 0.62. And I'll just bring it all the way across. And hopefully you've noticed that you can drag points. So see how the green line is going? That's going to keep it horizontal. You can also, like, I can just mouse over this and pull it up, right? And I'll have a vertical. So if I settle the mouse in the right spot, it'll connect the two. And that's perfect. As long as those green extension horizontal verticals are going, when I click, it does it automatically. So the more you get used to that, the easier drawing will be using those ortho controls. All right, now it looks like it is, again, just looking at the drawing, right? It is 1.56 over to the edge. So I'm just going to do a series of offsets. So I put in 1.56, and I can just, send that over. And then it looks like it is a 2.19 to the next shoulder. So I can just hit the space bar and put in 2.19. The space bar brings back the last command. So if I hit escape, that exits the command. If I hit space bar, it brings back offset, which is what I did last time. So it looks like now it's 3.31. So I'm just making a series of offsets based on their dimensions that they gave us. So escape, space bar, and 3.94. And I did everything from this side. So that's the two, kind of the two tall bridges, right? I just have construction lines here. Now I can just come up, and it looks like it goes up 4.5. 4.5, right? And now, since that's going to like repeat, I would go with copy. So that's CO for copy. And the way copy works is you choose your object. When you're done choosing, you got to hit enter. And then it says specify the base point. Now, it's going to stay in copy as long as you want it to, which is very handy. So I'm going to do base point here. So there, now I have it, right? And I'll place it here, and I still have it, and I'll place it here, and I still have it, and I'll place it here. Right? And then I can get rid of all of these. I'm using a selection fence. So when you have a selection where it says select objects, you can use your individual pick box, or you can make selection windows. So this is the crossing selection window. Anything it crosses, it'll choose. And this is the all in selection window. So anything that is all inside will be selected. So for example, that is all inside and I can get it. That's faster than trying to use your pick box, okay? And then anything I cross, I can get like that. Now, if you get things in your selection that you don't want them in, you can hit R for remove. And then it'll say remove objects, and I can remove this. Now I have just the things I want to erase. So I hit enter, boom. And I'll just connect up. I did a line there, I'll hit escape, and then space bar to bring it back and do another one. So you'll get pretty comfortable hitting that space bar with your thumb just to bring that last command back. So, all right. Well, we have it pretty well started. So that's going to be enough for me to then go figure out some of my spacing. I will have a top view that's going to be in a rectangle that is 5.5 by 3. So I might want to get that in there, right? So there's a marker line to keep it in projection. And then I'm going to do a rectangle. And I'm going to put in coordinates. So that's the at symbol. And then 5.5 comma, so 5.5 in the X, and then how far up in the Y? Looks like 3 in the Y. So that would be a that would be a relative coordinate input. And it'll give me basically that view up above, right? Okay. Then I can do that again here, giving myself a little marker line. And then it looks like the right side view is going to be 3 across the bottom and 4.5 plus 0.62. So 5.12. I think that's right. 5.12. You'll do the math, I'm sure. All right, so then I can do my rectangle again. And these are just view boxes where the view is going to be contained in there. So this can be really helpful when you're trying to lay out. I forgot my symbol, so I'm going to escape and do it again. Now I'm going to go shift that. 3 in the X and 4.5 plus the half is 5, and the leftover is 0.12. So it should be 5.12. Yeah. There's the view boxes, and I'll erase this guy out. All right, so now that looks like there might be enough room for dimensions to be in there, but it'll give me an idea of what it's going to look like here, right, in my layout, which I have to know before I do my annotative dimensioning. So once you get into layout and you have your views kind of organized, right, you can choose a scale, and we do that with this area right here. So I'll just choose a very common one, which is 1/4 inch to a foot. Boom, that's not good, way too small. So that means that I need, something much bigger, like, 1/2 inch to a foot, or maybe 1 foot, right, to 1 foot. Nope, not that. It's close though. And the other scale is the engineering scale, which we can do. Maybe I'll just choose half scale, right? So depending on the type of scale you want, how you want it to read, half scale looks pretty good. That's a 1:2 scale. So that's going to go in down here somewhere. This is not P, whatever this is, maybe X, right? And then this is now going to be my 1:2 scale. So I just leave placeholders in there, but you have to remember to go change it, right? So Very important that you do that. And I think today is the 2nd and the 2nd month. So happy February. Whoa, is that true? That is true. That's kind of cool. All right. So now I know my scale. It's going to be half scale. And I found that out by the scale tool. Got to be in model space to see that scale tool. Now that'll send me back over here to model space. And that's where I want to set this. I want to set this to the same 1 to 2, right? So now when I use my dimensioning, as long as it's annotative dimensioning, whatever the style is set in here, in the dimension style is the size I will get on the paper. It's going to do all that that fancy scaling for me. So when I place a dimension, first of all, if it looks like I want it to look, 2 decimal places, for example, then that dimension style is working fine. If it's not the way I want it, then I need to go into here and modify that dimension style. Lots of stuff in there, okay? And then I always check it by going back into here and saying, oh yeah, that looks good. You know, if it's an 1/8 inch in my dimension style, then I'm getting the right thing here. So I can check that by going into the dimension style, into modify, and into text, and say, oh, text height, 1/8 inch. That's perfect. All right. So that kind of gets you many things going, some dimensioning, some drawing techniques, and some paper space model space stuff. So get a title block going. You can get some layers going also, and start to organize things onto layers. So now, if I wanted to, I could go back and say, oh, you know, the visible, I really did want that blue. So I'm going to make it blue, and you can see that it just does the whole group, you know, all at once. So you can draw and just tweak things later as far as colors go, or line types, or any of that stuff. All right, good luck on this. And we will have a quiz on Friday. So let me know if you need anything. I can produce these little videos fairly quickly. So if they're helpful, put me to work. All right. Take care of yourself, and we will chat on Friday via the quiz.